Jeez, look at the speed of that. Alright, we're just back here using the oxyacetylene there just to heat up that frame on the excavator, the track frame, try and get it bent back into shape. We've got a farmer's jack trying to crank it down, but not going very well so far. Yeah, the new idler assembly coming together. Got to tighten these bolts up, and then that thing's ready to go in. We're heating and we're pounding now with a sledgehammer trying to get this thing straight. Definitely moved, but we are sort of starting to bend some of the weaker bits of frame. Well, we've been heating and pounding and heating. So the bottom frame, that was a long way out. That was more than 1/4 of an inch out. The top of the frame, you can see there, the sort of gap that you've got. Hopefully that's a bit cleaner. See the gap you've got there, touching at that end, touching that end. We had that same gap at the bottom. So now we have kind of this section. So we have that section there, halfway up, looking good. Top half's now the bit to pound, but what we're going to do, we're going to let that cool down so that that kind of holds some of its strength. And then we're going to focus on heating and pounding this section. As you can see, what I have done, got a bit of bending and deforming going on there. We'll have to see what we have to do to that, if anything, when we come to put the idler assembly back in. We've been heating and pounding and pounding and heating. I've got it looking really good now. We've just tried the idler in. Guess what? Looks like a new idler in there. Perfect. Right, we're letting it all cool down. I'm preparing for the pull. So we've got a pulley over there, and we'll actually try and pull the track back on. But before we refitted the track, we needed to refit a roller bearing that was fitted on the underside. Unfortunately, we found once we started to try and reinstall it, all the beating had deformed the threaded hole and the bolt snapped off, and it took us twice as long to remove that snap bolt as it did to actually straighten the frame. I'm shaking my fist here at Bluey because its battery had gone dead, so that took us about an hour to get it started. Right, so the idler's in place, and it is now time to clear the tools out of the way and try and get the track back on. Just trying to get that track back on with a little bit of winch power, excavator power, human power, but it needs to push harder. Right, it's all back in place. Just got to get some track pads back in now, and then we've got to tension it. Well, it's on, tensioned, a couple of track pads on, but click no start fault on the excavator. Good morning, back here at the land. It looks light on this camera, but literally 10 minutes ago when I arrived it was still pitch black. Sun's just coming up, and I'm back here to have another go at the excavator. So where we left it the other day, we'd got the tracks on, which was awesome. We'd straightened the frame, which was, to be honest, unbelievable. And I came to start it, and click no start. And what I did, as you can see, we sort of started taking the console apart. Got to the point, we tried everything, we checked all the wiring, everything seemed absolutely fine, but it just would not start. So I'm back today, got all the tools with me. We've got to get the seat out. We've got to get into the panel, sort of down below behind that seat, which is an absolute bitch of a thing to get to. Anyway, we'll get in there, and I'm hoping I can jump start it, and I can spin it around and take the start motor out. because I actually believe that starter motor is now cactus. I've had a lot, as you know, I've had a lot of issues with that starter motor in the past, but it's always sort of seemed to come good. And the way this excavator is positioned, I can't actually get into it from the underside. But what I'm going to do, I mean, it's sat here for a week. The key's still in it, so I'll give it one little try. Oh my god, if it starts today, I'm going to go crazy. Let's try and get in here. Threw all the tools in and everything the other week, and I left. I was a bit annoyed, to be honest, that I was having so much hassle with this excavator. Using my glasses. Right, so we were getting all the lights, but then just nothing. We've got all the lights, wait for the glow plug. And let me hear a contact. Yep, let me hear a contact. Ah, you are kidding me. Just got up at the bloody crack of dawn this morning to get here to spend the day fixing it. And it turned on and it turned off using the key, which it hasn't done for about a year. Oh, didn't do it that time. I did it that time. You go figure that out. I have no idea what the hell's going on. That's it. Excavator for sale. Bloody thing. Well, looks like I didn't have to get up at bloody 5 o'clock this morning to get here. Anyway, it's great news that it starts. I can now get the rest of the track pads put on and get it all tightened up, get it off these chocks, and actually make a start on some jobs, which is the best bit of news. But boy, oh boy, is that annoying to keep having this intermittent fault. Anybody got any ideas what that could be, let me know. But I have changed the key switch in the past. The little push button is now sort of hardwired into the starter motor, but I don't know why, you know, the key doesn't work for a whole year. I can't get the thing started. I leave it and it sits for a week, and then it starts with a key. Is it once or twice? Starts with a key twice, and then it won't start with a key, and then it will start with a key, and it starts with a push button. Man, oh man, this is nuts what this fault is. It's about $800 for a new starter motor, so I'm just a little bit reluctant to go and pay that, because I just get the feeling it's not the starter motor. It's such an intermittent fault. It feels like it can't be the starter motor. It must be a wiring thing, but I don't know. I'm a little bit lost on this. Right, so let's get the excavator cleared of all of the tools that are in there, so I can actually get sat in and move around. We'll put all the console back. How much do you want to bet that once I put the console back, tighten it all back up again, it stops working? But if that happens, I think I'll set the thing on fire. Right, let's get this inside of this cleaned up, get it off its pads, and or the chocks of wood I've got it sat on. And yeah, let's get these track pads fitted, get the thing finished, and get it moved out of the way. Right, so there are only a few screws really that hold this together. But it is not the easiest thing to get back together. Let's get some of these tools up here because I'm going to need them. Right, so get the key out, get the key back in here. this is like a lock nut that goes on the outside that kind of fixes the key in position. Obviously it is splined this, so you have markers on this panel depending on which position the key's in. Right, we'll just test it again. All the lights. Let me hear a contact. Nothing. Push button works. Lights. Glow plug straight out. Now it starts. Lights. Glow plug straight out. Doesn't start. Push button starts. Lights. Glow plug out. And it starts. You help me. I have absolutely no idea what the hell's going on there. Right, so now, I mean, all the wiring's tight in there. We checked all that the other day. It's all looking very good, nice and neat. Oh, I've done it wrong. That key goes in after I've got this almost refitted. Hey, it's like this, you take things apart, it's like, how did I get it apart? But you do. So I'm going to break it, pulling it back together. There we go, there we go. Oh! Right, there was a spark in there then, which is not good. None of that should be sparking. Understatement of the year. Ah, that's simply that dropping down. Fair enough. Some of those wires are live, or those wires are live, they do have a permanent live on them, so that'll be why we saw a little spark, which most probably means either blown fuse in the fuse box, so we'll have to have a look at that in a second. So we'll just check that. Yeah, absolutely nothing, dead. I think I used my last fuse the other day. Starter motor is blue one, so I think it's a 15. Oh, doesn't look like it's blown. Doesn't smell blown. Some other fuse that's blown in it. Alright, let's have a little look on here. Actually, so there's a 10 amp key start, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from the top. And that's the one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that looks. Can't smell anything, but that looks burnt out to me. So hopefully we got a spare one. Just we got a spare one. There we go. We got a spare. Yep, we got a spare. Right. See if we can get that to light up again. Okay, that's lighting up. Right, so I will now remove that 10 amp fuse because I do not want this to blow when I'm putting this back together again. Right, back to where we were. Right. Okay, we got that key fitted and the little locking ring tightened up. Put the fuse back in. Right. Oh, we got lights. Wait for the glow plug. Contact. Nothing. You go figure it out. I don't know what's going on. Right, let's just get the bloody thing put back together and start using it. That's what it's for, right? This is a little bit finicky to get it all back together again. It's all very old plastic that doesn't quite go together anymore. Screw in there. Make sure that's on one with a smooth top to it. Did have one that was a little bit sharp on the top. Kept cutting my leg when I got in the excavator. Well, I tell you what, I've absolutely got to say I am so glad this started, because taking the seat out and accessing the starter motor from that back panel isn't. Oh, it's a real horrible job. There's not a lot of room in here, as you can see. I'm kind of stood up just trying to make it work. You end up with a very sore back. Alright, all back together again. We got lights, got a glow plug, we'll wait for it to go out. It starts this time after the glow plug light. What can I say? Thumbs up, we're happy. Happy, but I wished it wouldn't have failed last week. Right, let us now get this thing off the blocks, get it freed up, and get some jobs done. Right, so job number one, we put those track pads on last week. They're not all ugga-duggaed in place though, so we'll get that sitting. So we'll get those pads sitting on the top, so we can get the rubber mats connected as well. Get it all ugga-duggaed up, and move on to job number two. Yeah, to the top. Right, since I'm playing with the big boys now, decided to get myself a set of impact sockets. I have the odd few, but yeah, decided to get a set because yeah, I kind of need it. Right, let's ugga-dugga all these together. What's the magic words? Ugga-dugga. Crikey, threw my battery out. Well, that's no good, it's going to be painful, isn't it? Okay, and now it's time for the track pads. Just a few nuts. Hey. But first, I've got to find those nuts. Alright, let's let's do some ugga dugga. Get these track pads on, the rubber pads. Get them tightened down. Alright, now lifted it, I gotta say that looks slacker than it was the week before. I just swore that was a bit tighter. But actually it feels, even though there's still a droop there, it does feel quite tight. So I think what I'll do is I'll get it off its wooden chocks, take it for a drive around, and then we'll have a look at it once it's, you know, done a few dozen revolutions. Right, let's get this thing moved. That looks neater. So we'll now get the winch back on the car. All the pulley blocks out of the way. Get all these blocks put back in my car, ready to go back to the other place. Do a general tidy up, and then we'll move the rest of that rock further along there and work out what to do next. So as you can remember, one of these levers, I think it was the one on this side, was actually damaged beyond repair. And to keep things going, I kind of swapped levers around so we still had that one operating. $120 for a new lever. So I made one. Right, let's get that thing fitted in there and just make sure that it works. All fingers crossed it does. Right, we will just get these little pins out of the way. So to do that, we've got to pull these out. Do not fall down. Number two, check they fit. Oh, they're a squeeze. That one's a squeeze in that hole, which is a little deformed, but I'm hoping we can tap that in there. So that hole, I drilled it before I bent it. The hole deformed. I did pass the drill back through and open it back up again, but it's still a little bit tight. Could be the paint in the hole. Maybe I just need to pass the drill back over it again. Yeah, a little bit too tight that. Right, pop back down the hill, get the drill, reopen that up, and I'll be back in 1, 2, 3, and I'm back. Right, drilled out, fits like a glove. Okay. Let's get this fitted. First pin in. To be honest, not to secure everything more so I just don't lose these little clips. Oh, there we go. Oh, honestly, master craftsman. Fixing all the things I've broken. That one's cracking as well. Ah, you bugger. Oh well, I'll keep using it till it breaks. Right, another job done. All the higgledy-piggledy handles. Well, that's alright. At least it all works. That cost me a couple of dollars for the red cap. Piece of steel we already had in the garage, and about an hour of messing around. Right, let's get back down the hill. I guess some more jobs done. Right, we got Bluey pushed out the way. We got the winch all sorted. That was dead easy. I just needed to take the whole winch cable off, take a few bolts out to the bash plate underneath, get underneath there, and put a new bolt in to pin the cable off to the side of the drum. Right, that is now working. It's now time to make a start on the job that I started about 4 weeks ago. Let's start spreading the rest of this rock. Obviously there's only a small pile now, we'll just sort of spread it along off to the left, and then I will work out what my next task is. Will it start? Right, we're nearly done here. So what I'll do now, well, I've done as far as moving stuff for the bucket. What I'll do now is we'll just start tracking backwards and forwards with our new super duper idler there. Track backwards and forwards, push this rock around, level it out, compact it, press it in, and then we'll see what the next jobs are. It's time for time lapse. Right, I think we can say we're happy enough with that. It's not perfect, it's only a thin layer, but we're getting more and more rock delivered. The plan is to engage the rock guys and get them to come in here and then just dump it in and around this area. I think I'll put a little X-Max, the spot spray paint on, and we can back right up here and dump many loads, so that when we come next time or in the future we've got access to a whole heap of rock. Right, I am now going to drop the bucket, get the log grab on, which is there. I'm going to work out what to do next. I think I'm going to head up the hill and start pulling some logs out the way, do a bit of tidy up, get all the crappy wood pulled out the way, so when we start burning we've got easy access to it. Right, let's get that bucket off, log grab on, head up the hill. Well, would you believe it? Anyway, I'm just up the hill there, just messing around, moving a few bits of wood around, some logs and stuff, and I get a phone call from Nathan saying, "Hey Dad, and he's out doing firewood deliveries today. So he's doing the deliveries while I'm trying to repair things. And he goes, "Hey Dad, bit of an issue. Back wheels just fell off the ute." Bloody hell. Anyway, so that's been a mad sort of half hour. Yeah, literally just sort of getting him onto our insurance policy, or not the insurance policy, the recovery policy, RSCV, and yeah, organising a truck to get out there to go pick him up. So unfortunately he's fully loaded. He's got a cube in the back and the trailer's on. But yeah, he said basically the back wheel just got a weird feeling in it, and the next second it's falling off, and he managed to pull over onto the grass veg, which was pretty lucky. He's in a position of safety, and we've just got to wait an hour now for the tow truck. So I'll send a few pickies of that once we get them. Right, what am I going to do now? I did say to him, shall I head home? But nah, I can do easy. It's a reality, and once he gets in, he's got to go straight back out again. So, alright, we'll carry on doing some jobs here. I'm thinking I'm going to get the auger, and I'm going to auger the holes for the gate post, which will be going over there. Right, I think we might set the excavator up for that. A little change of heart. So we got that log grab on, just went into the bushes in this area. Amazing what you find in there, didn't even realise it, but there's a whole tree trunk there, as you can see. So kind of pulled that out, pulled a lot of branches out from that area. Do need to do a bit of a tidy up. I didn't realise I'd left it as bad as that when I drove away. Anyway, that's that area tidied up enough. And then what I've gone and done, I'm going to put the big auger on. I think this is 600mm. It is anyway, 600mm auger. So I put the auger head on, put the auger itself on. That took ages. And when we come back tomorrow, hopefully tomorrow, we'll have a look putting the holes in. I just kind of feel a bit off now, seeing the damage to Nath's car. I think I'm going to head home, see how he's going. Right, we'll catch you next time on the rural project. There'll be one car, not Nath's. Too soon for jokes, maybe too soon for jokes. Yeah, we'll see you next time on the rural project, when hopefully we'll get these bloody gate posts augered, and then we'll get up the hill where some of the logs are on the ground, which are pretty solid. Get them cut, get them put in the holes. Sweet, hang the gates, and we are looking good. Right, catch you next time. Oh, I can't help it. Before I go, just got to kind of get these posts marked out, see what it's going to look like. We'll look back down that line and see if it lines up with the other fence. Obviously I've marked that's the neighbour's fence there. And follow it down, you can see the post on the neighbour's driveway, so that's pretty much in line. way further away from those trees than I thought it was, for some reason. Thought it was kind of just in front, but this is fine. We'll get a post in there, and we plan on putting an extra few up there just to properly block the driveway. Otherwise, simply just drive around it. Right, let's get the fence. Right, let's get the gate, drop it in here, see how wide it is, and give us an idea of where we need to put the holes. Right, just couldn't hold the gate and the camera and everything at once, so we've just test fitted that gate in here. So the line on the edge there, that's the extent of the gate on that side. The line on the edge there, it's the extent of the gate there. Obviously I've just marked where the tape is roughly the centre line. So tomorrow we'll work out what hingy medingy we need over there, and then get the first hole augered in, try and get a post in. Once we get a post in, we'll then work out exactly where the next one needs to go. But that's tomorrow for definite. I really am going. Goodbye.